Hey everybody, Greg Reinhardt from GRB Academy here for episode 3. Today I'm going to be talking about the role of showcase camps, prospect camps, college camps, academic camps, how you should use them to your advantage, how to not use them so much that you've wasted large amounts of money, and the direction you should go with all of them. I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of each, how colleges use them, and how you use them. Before we begin, if you don't mind, please click on subscribe to the GRB Raise YouTube page. We're going to be delivering great content. You can see all of our players in our high school program and hope to continue to educate and give families and players information they need to make great decisions and find their way to college baseball. The first one I'm going to talk about today, the showcase camps of the world. I'm going to bring up Perfect Game, PBR. I'm not going to talk about many other brands because I think those two are the most firmly planted in the Midwest. The positives, I think these are great camps ran by people who know what they're doing and give people a good platform to show their skill sets. Colleges track them because of they're looking for skill sets that play at their level. The people working in each company give really good reports. They have good video. It goes on their social media streams nationally. And they have really great invite-only events. I'm going to talk about all those. Personally, I tell people in our program at GRB to use them once a year, maybe twice a year on their original events if you see a huge increase in your skill set. So if you go to a spring camp for either brand, I don't know if it matters what brand. I don't think colleges care. Some are partial. You could do one of each if you want to cover your bases. But if you go to one event a year, and let's say you do it in the spring, if you have great numbers, or whatever your numbers are, that's who you are right now. I think going to multiple in the spring, or multiple in a row, or multiple in the year is unnecessary unless you have a drastic change as a player. Remember, colleges are using these to identify skill sets. The heads of these companies do talk to a lot of colleges. So if you continue to go and your skill sets haven't changed, their communication, their write-ups on you, they will not change as well. If you do have a huge uptick, your velocity increases 7 miles an hour, your running speed and your 60 significantly goes down. You look physically different. You put on 15 or 20 pounds of good weight. That is an opportunity of when you should go back. And that's how you should make your decision on how you spend your money to go to these. Am I significantly different as a player? Have I retooled my swing? Does my arm action look different? Is my velocity better because of that? Have I put in the time in the weight room and I look different and I run faster? That's what you should be using as your guideline of when you need to go next. The invite pieces of both of these companies specifically are really good. If you get invited to the Perfect Game National, the Perfect Game All-American Games, the PBR Futures Games are a big one. I believe it's called the Top Prospect Games from PBR for freshmen. These are great opportunities, and colleges pay attention to these invite-onlys because invite-onlys generally have premium talent and they're premium events, and colleges can go there knowing they're going to see what they want to see, or they're going to see a collection of the best players. So there's a lot of companies that call everything an invite for that reason. Be wary of that. But identify the best events where you see the best players in the country going over and over. And if you get invited to one of those, and the 4 that I named are 4 of the good ones, you should go. So that is my thought process on showcase camps. They are a great tool. They're, if used correctly, They are really great to show off your skill sets. I think in all cases with showcase camps, most colleges will want to see you either on campus or in game situation. Um, Obviously, people on the mound that go out there and throw 94 miles an hour in a showcase camp probably get offers. But that's few and far between because most people's velocity puts them in a certain point and they still want to see that you can pitch in game. Same as hitting, it is BP. People want to see live at bats. But these are great events. The people that run them are really knowledgeable. They do a great job on their video, a great job on the reports, and those are the positives. Next one we talk about is college camps. This is a big question I get from our program and from people on the outside of our program that just email in and ask, how much should I go to college camps? How many do I need to do? How do I use this? The first thing that everyone needs to know, I think, are the cons of college camps. And then we're going to talk about the pros of college camps and then how you should use them. The cons. Everyone needs to know that when you go to a college camp, every Division I college has a volunteer assistant. And that person is paid on their camp attendance and the revenue created from those camps. So there is certainly a money-making aspect to college camps. That's not necessarily means that they are all bad. Colleges do invite specifically and intentionally a group of kids that can play at their level. And usually, if one guy from the college staff has seen a player, you will get that email because he wants to show the rest of the staff. I think that's where you need to lean on your summer coach, high school coach, or communicate with the college coach and know, is this school really one that I can attend? Are they really interested in me? If you are a player that is attending one of these camps and your skill sets do not play at that level, you certainly are probably giving away some money. Now, the college baseball community is a pretty small circle of people. So if you can't play at that level, but you are a college baseball player in the end, or look like you're going to be one, and your skill sets fit at a different level, they will talk. Colleges will see a guy and be like, that's not a guy for us, but he can play for my buddy or my friend over at this place. It's probably not going to be a direct competitor of theirs, or even in the same division, but they will talk. They will, colleges and Division I's especially, love when players who look like they're going to be great but aren't there yet go to a junior college that is advantageous to them long term. So it is not a total waste. They do talk. But it certainly is better if you pinpoint colleges that fit your profile as a player. And I think that's something that everyone needs to know and have an honest conversation with themselves is, am I good enough to play at this school? And that can't be from you or mom and dad. You need to get a real opinion from someone that says, you can play here. From someone who knows, not just some guy who's never had a college player walk in front of him, sees you, and says, hey, you should go to this camp. Because it's probably not the way to get recruited. Average high school players, if you are not the best player on your team, the best player in your conference, and in some cases in your state, if you're not one of the top players in your state, picking a national powerhouse program is not going to get you recruited by going to their camp. It just doesn't happen. They have so many players available. But if you selectively pick your location of the school that fits who you are, you're doing yourself a service and saving money. I like college camps. I think you're seeing more people use them to give their offers out with the way the recruiting rules are. I will be doing something on the recruiting calendar and emails to colleges coming up in the next few segments, but certainly picking wisely will help you. It will help you save money. And in some cases, colleges are just blatantly saying it. If you come to this camp, I will be making you an offer. That's when you should go. That's when that happens for sure. So that's college camps. I do like them. I know they get a bad rap. I think some of the bad rap comes from the fact that everyone gets an email from a college when they get a list of kids that they've seen. That doesn't mean they're recruiting you. They certainly may reach out, give you an email that says we'd like to see you, but you need to know if that's going to everyone or just to you. and you need to check if they really are interested. They have great software that personalizes things and it makes everyone feel like they're getting recruited. That is not the case. But that is my take on college camps. The third type of camp I'm going to talk about, top prospect camps. Prospect camps, these are generally held by organizations that have programs. For example, GRB hosts one. It is called the Top Prospect Camp. We generally have a large amount of people that show up, and it is heavily attended by colleges. There are pros and cons to these too. The pros, from a prospect standpoint, is you're going to pay the same amount generally that you would pay to go to a camp on site at a university. And instead of just that university seeing you, you're going to have 15, 20, 25 Division I see you. I would recommend that you go to camps where there's more than 10 Division Is. In our case, we invite Division IIs and Division IIIs. Some years we have 55, 60 schools show up. And it's good. You get a lot of eyes to see you. The negatives, I think everyone says, is sometimes there's volunteers that come. It just depends the level of the volunteer. If the coaching staff takes that person's recruiting sense and word at heart and follows up, then it's not a bad thing. If they don't, then certainly that person or that person saying they love you or like you doesn't mean a ton. But a lot of camps do have head coaches, recruiting coordinators, assistant coaches that come, and those are decision makers. And when they see someone they like, they certainly can be put into action. I recommend our players from our program go, especially to ours, because I think for colleges, they get to see players who are comfortable at their own facility or at their own field versus at a major event where sometimes nerves can take over. And so sometimes colleges see the best in a player at their own prospect camps because of comfortability. And that's good for people to see, as well as the struggles that they sometimes see. Seeing what the top end or what this person looks like when they're in a relaxed setting, because eventually you will become relaxed when you get to the school you're going to in college. What else on prospect camps? I think colleges like them when they attend, and you can attend other organizations' prospect camps. That is good. We have helped tons of kids who have come to ours from other programs. From an in-program source setup is that colleges get to watch a player right in front of them and then usually communicate right next to them the head person or one of the coaches from that program and ask questions. So they get immediate feedback on a player. Colleges can ask, hey, do you think this person fits for me? It's immediate dialogue. That's better than the back and forth that sometimes happens, or there's a lot going on in the summer. Colleges have conversations with a lot of programs, with a lot of players, and sometimes they just forget. So it's a great tool in that aspect. For players and families, it's a chance usually to interact with the colleges. You might get in a cage, hit with a college, they like you, they have a conversation with you, they get to know a little bit about you as a person, your personality. And that sells people more than anything a lot. If you have a great personality and you're a good player, they're going to want good people in their program. That's the third type of camp that I think are useful for families. The last one, academic camps. These are good. To be honest, like if you fit or are someone who is seeking a super professional degree of higher education, or you have a very narrowed direction of what you want to be in your life, pre-med, engineering, architecture, just a few. If you know exactly what you want to be in, and it's a, kind of a specialized major, and you want to go to a super high level institute of learning, you will find that these are good camps. The one that I'm going to throw out, I'm not giving a endorsement, but we have had really good success with our really smart players who have went to head first honor roll camps. They are expensive. Our kids usually use them in their junior year or right after their junior year. And it's been good. The right amount of people with the academics are there. They usually have those majors. They know they need a specialized high academic kid, And when I say high academics, like you're a 399, 4.0, over a 4 on a weighted scale, whatever that means, and you have a great ACT or SAT score that gets into these places, you're going to get interest. They do play in game format, so it's a chance for people to see you in game. And everyone attending usually has the academic money to match, so that it's affordable, or it's cheaper than full tuition. So those have been good, and I think those are a valuable piece for those who are really, really intelligent and really look forward to a challenge of a tough college. And that goes for not just Division Ones. Some of the best academic Division Threes, Division Twos, and Division Ones show up at the same place, and they're chasing the same kids. So I think those are a good tool for you watching who are like, I'm really smart, I really want to be a doctor, and I want to go to Johns Hopkins. They're going to be there. Or I want to go to Keene or Emory. Those are great D3s. Or Boston College, or some of these high-level Northwestern. They're there. Everyone is at some of these academic events because it takes a specialized kid to get into their place. So that is what I will say on academic camps. The last thing I'll say is make sure you communicate in advance of going to these camps. I think that helps the introduction when you're on site talking to people. Take the time, write an email. I'm going to be doing another video on how to do that successfully. And make sure that you know the coaches that are attending and can have communication when you get there. So that is how I think the camp world should be utilized. In almost all cases, they're going to have to see you again. But everyone is going to camps. Some people are drastically overusing them. Everyone's going to showcases. Some people are drastically overusing them too. Hopefully this gives you some insight on the path that you should maybe use yourself. So that is episode 3. I thank you for joining me. I look forward to continuing to make some of these and hopefully shed some insight on how people can successfully navigate the recruiting path to college baseball. Please subscribe one more time to GRB Rays on YouTube. We will keep producing this. Hope everyone has a good day. Bye.